Hi, Kalos Church. My name is Truc-Quan. Since moving to Washington over 3 years ago, I've worked as a professional artist and owner of Modern Meliora, my art and stationery brand, romanticizing life and scenery here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. The focus of my message today is finding joy in work, like it talks about in Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. You're probably curious what kind of art I create, so here's a picture of me and some of my artwork. I started my business in the summer of 2020 as a creative outlet for myself while being in quarantine. Since then, my business has evolved past just e-commerce, and now I'm popping up throughout the greater Seattle area with my artwork, teaching art workshops for the community, and I'm excited to share that I recently started my artist residency in the heart of downtown Seattle. What this means for me is being able to create larger works of art and have a more consistent presence in Seattle. So if you're ever in the downtown area, you can now check out my art practice and be able to see what I'm currently working on. Reconnecting with God in Seattle these past 3 years have been nothing short of amazing. He has been providing me with fresh inspiration everywhere I go, from the beautiful flowers blooming in spring to the gorgeous mountain scenery in the summer and colorful fall leaves in autumn. Even on the gloomy days in winter, I can find beauty wherever I go. I take a picture when I'm traveling or day to day, and this is the kind of inspiration that I use for my art. Some of my work tell a story of a moment in time for me, like my first hot air balloon ride, my road trip moving from California to Washington with my husband, or a koi fish pond from my first trip back to my homeland, Vietnam. Creating art is a very unique experience because each of my artwork holds a piece of me as an artist and my memory. Being an artist and business owner comes with a lot of challenges, but I've been able to find the joy in creating art with the help of God, my favorite artist. One of my biggest challenges I have to navigate often is overcoming imposter syndrome. I never went to school for art, let alone business. My early career was mostly in education, so my lack of knowledge in some of these areas made me succumb to imposter syndrome often. There's a lot that goes into being a self-starter and running an independent business. I often say I wear a lot of hats, but I get to paint on them too. Creating art is only a fraction of what I get to do for work. It's my favorite part, but there's also the business side, which combines a lot of social media marketing, e-commerce, public market events, and accounting that take up a lot of my time and not so fun for me. Another challenge is overcoming creative block, something that I know all too well. To me, creativity has its ebbs and flows. There are some days that I can do like 4 paintings in one sitting, and there are days that I can barely pick up a brush. Then there's always the background stuff of having to manage business. That's not so fun, like I said. Moments like this remind me that I'm a human and not AI, so I can't generate endless amount of artwork. But when I do get into my creative groove and paint something amazing, it's honestly such a great feeling. Even when I'm going through stagnant periods, I'm able to find joy in my work, knowing that I get to glorify God's creations and extend that joy to people who view my artwork. I love seeing people smile and be transported to a happy place or a happy feeling through my art. Art is a very emotional and personal experience, so I'm grateful that God gave me this gift to share and connect with people around me. When my husband and I moved to Seattle, we didn't know anyone living here. My soul yearned for community and connection, especially coming out of the pandemic. I didn't realize it then, but I think God knew that Seattle was going to be the place that I found myself and my voice as an artist. Through my pop-ups and events, I've been able to slowly build a community through my art. And God has shown me that there's value in what I do and that there are people that are willing to show up for me and support me. I just had to be willing to put myself out there and show up authentically. Colossians 3:23 says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters." I think once I figured out that art wasn't just for me, but for others and ultimately for God, I felt more inspired and found the joy to keep going. Sometimes I would feel lost with my direction of art, but God has demonstrated time and time again with the doors He has opened for me and the people that He led towards me that I have a purpose here. I feel reassured that as long long as I pour my heart into do something with the right intentions, he'll always lead me to beautiful destinations. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day with work, but I want to encourage you to occasionally pause and look around to discover the beauty of God's creations. Thank you.